The collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008 was a turning point in the global financial crisis. I remember it clearly because I was less than a mile away from Lehman's headquarters in New York with a friend from school. My friend, who worked in the tech division of another investment bank, was very anxious about his India investments. His portfolio, as I understood then, was a mess. It was loaded with bad businesses, a lot of them, and mostly from the power and infrastructure sectors, which were the hot sectors in that bull market. It was clear to me that he needed to clean up his portfolio. So I advised him to take his losses and sell most of his stocks. After our cleanup exercise, we were left with just two FMCG or fast-moving consumer goods stocks. My friend was not happy with the thought of converting his paper losses to real ones, but I convinced him to do so. And as I expected, my friend laid the blame for his bad investments and bad portfolio on his bad financial advisor friend. It took me a while to explain to him that the problem was not his advisor friend, but he himself. What did him in was his greed to earn quick money and the fear of missing out on hot stocks that his colleagues and his other friends made money on before the crisis unraveled. And so he willingly listened to whatever his advisor advised him, not questioning even once. That conversation has repeated in several of my interactions with other friends and relatives over the years who have blamed the system and advisors and now influencers for causing them financial troubles. Some were sold bad insurance policies, some bad mutual funds, some were stuck in bad portfolio management services, and some saw their wealth evaporate at the advice of their family neighborhood financial advisors. In short, all of them were unhappy with the hand they were dealt by others. Almost no one took ownership of the mistakes that caused them financial troubles. Seth Godin, who is a noted American author, says that we blame the system because that lets us off the hook. We refuse to take responsibility for our mistakes, and it is always a problem caused by someone else. Godin also says that when the system is broken, we wonder why we were relying on the system in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong here. Our financial system is not broken. It is very well regulated and sound. But one part that is broken is the part about incentives and how they are often misaligned between the receivers of financial advice and the givers of financial advice, which now also includes social media influencers, or let me call them misinfluencers, that our finance minister and the SEBI chief recently called a growing concern. Let me offer a quick explanation on incentives here. The incentives of the giver of financial advice depends on increased activity from the receiver of financial advice. The more stocks you, that is a receiver of financial advice, buys, the more you trade, the more mutual funds you own, the more insurance policies you buy, the more your advisor, broker, and agent benefit. However, the truth is that more in this case is bad for you. You need less of activity, less of trading, and number of stocks, mutual funds, and insurance policies, because less is manageable, less requires reflection. Matt Haig wrote in his wonderful book, Reasons to Stay Alive, that the world is increasingly designed to depress us. Happiness is not a very good thing for the economy. If we were happy with what we had, why would we need more? How do you sell an anti-aging moisturizer? Simple, you make someone worry about aging. How do you get them to buy insurance? By making them worry about everything. How do you get people to have plastic surgeries? By highlighting their physical flaws. How do you get them to watch a TV show? By making them worry about missing out. And how do you get them to buy a new smartphone? By making them feel like they are being left behind. Haig also writes that to be calm becomes a kind of revolutionary act. To be happy with your own non-upgraded existence, to be comfortable with our messy human selves would not be good for business. Now, investing is not away from the reality Haig has talked about in his book. The things we read or watch in business and social media, or what we hear most advisors, experts, and influencers speak, they are all designed to depress us. Happiness of their customers, of their prospects and viewers is not a very good thing for them. For how else would they peddle their bad, often toxic financial advice? So we are sold insurance policies, mutual funds, stock ideas, and other get-rich-quick schemes as if our lives depended on them. And that if we don't buy those products or advice, we would end up in poverty and despair. Even as our friends and all those friends we know on Twitter and social media and Facebook, they would all get rich. People are led to make financial plans for 20, 30 years ahead, while not many are taught to deal with the present with the behavioral aspect of taking care of their money. Things like simplicity, frugality, and patience. But the problem is not them. The problem is us. One of the best prayers I have come across is Reynold Niebuhr's Serenity Prayer that reads, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. What others advise me to do in life and investing is never in my control. And so I cannot change what they advise. But what advice I apply to my life and investing is in my control. And so I must ensure that I play just that part well. So the problem is not the advisor or influencer peddling wrong financial advice. The problem is I, not understanding what is wrong for me and what is not. Yes, that is the exact problem. The more you are willing to get influenced by the idea of getting rich quick, the more there will be influencers telling you the secrets and to millions of the other followers of how to get rich quick. My grandmother often advised me this, Suno sabki, karo man ki. It means I may listen to others, but must do what my mind tells me is right thing to do. She must have known about confirmation bias in her own way, but what she meant was that even after listening to the advice of many other people, I must do what I believe to be the right thing to do, after putting in careful thought behind each of my actions. And that is exactly what I tell young and other investors who are worried about what to trust from the plethora of financial advice around them, often about how to get rich quick from the multitude of financial and other social media influencers. And my advice is same, suno sabki, karo man ki. Influencers will not cause you any problems, but your fears and greed to succeed and get rich quick certainly will. So take care of what you think and how you act, not how others want you to do. Life would be quieter, life would be simpler then, and influencers will stop being the problem. In my last episode of the Inner Game podcast, I talked about the importance of choosing your heroes well. Today, I advise you to choose your influencers well. And maybe you are the best influencer of your own decisions, so do listen to that voice that comes from deep within. Thank you for watching. If you found this episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And remember, listen to everyone, but follow your own mind. Until next time, take care and happy investing. Thank you so much.